As all of you can see, you're sitting in a different environment than you would be if we were having a Zoom meeting. This is in fact the environment that is going to be utilized for the Forecasting Hope videos. So the framework that you're in right now is the same framework that your guests are going to see. They're going to go through the same interactions you just went through, the check-in process where we can go ahead and see how many people are checked in for this. We've now up to 55 guests checked in. That's great. And you're going to see that information in real time as people are checking in. Then they're going to step into this framework. And what's so unique about this technology is that it knows exactly who's associated to which of the 100+ churches that are participating across North America here. And it knows all the communication is just between you, the local church, and the guests from your portal of entry, which is when they registered for the event. So we're going to be testing that out a little bit later, but we wanted you guys to see it. This is really, you're getting some of the first glimpses of this portal and how this all fits together with your guests. So I want to start by talking a little bit about where you should be at this stage for Forecasting Hope. First of all, we have thousands and thousands of people registered across the US and Canada that are planning to attend this event. They're going to attend in the same way. They're going to get reminders the same way you got reminders. They're going to check in the same method that you checked in. And then they're going to go to the individual feed that's associated to your account based on your time zone. So when that happens, you'll notice a couple things about the player you're watching right now. First of all, it reads as a live player. Now, David, we'll talk about this more in a bit, but they've been pre-recording these. Just now they're starting to pre-record, and this is so that we stay very current with the news cycle and everything going on in the world right now. But these are still pre-recorded so that the professionalism is high and everything is set up the way it should be. But they're going to show as live. They're going to feel live to your guests. This increases engagement. Just like if you go see a movie, you know that if you need a snack or you have to go to the restroom, you better get back really quick or you're going to miss something. That's going to be the same feeling that people get with this as they watch. And so they're going to want to pay attention the whole time. If they hit the pause button or the play button, which you could do now, you'll realize that it doesn't actually stop anything. It just jumps ahead as a live player would. It's also going to show the number of people that are watching this event through your feed. So if you're on the East Coast, you're on the Eastern time feed, it's going to show all the people across the East Coast that are watching this simultaneously. This number is going to build excitement and show people really what a big event this is going to be in your area and around the globe. So we're going to do that, and then people are going to watch the player. Then when they choose to communicate with you, which is going to be prompted sometimes by David, and I'll let him talk about that a little bit, and we'll use this with you very shortly, then you can use the prompts on the right of your screen, left of where we're facing, and then that will come right through into your interest tracker account, which means interest tracker is really the hub of this technology and is very, very important for your church. So those of you watching might be admins at this point in interest tracker. You might be basic users or people that have just been asked to participate in the event. So this message is really for everybody. And I want to walk through some places you should be in the process of Forecasting Hope at this point. First and foremost, you should have your login credentials and have logged into Interest Tracker. If you have not logged into interesttracker.org, then we would ask that you do so immediately. If you do not know your credentials or do not have access, please contact our team at SermonView as quickly as you can. You can do that by emailing us at info@sermonview.com. We'll take a look at your account and make sure that you get set up. So you want to make sure that you have access to Interest Tracker because this is where everyone who registers for your event is going to go for this meeting. In fact, here, let me go ahead and share a screen here with everybody. Okay, so this is the inside of an Interest Tracker account and shows you what people would see within a Interest Tracker account. If you are a multi-site, multi-church pastor, then you would have multiple churches associated. If you are a multi-church pastor or an admin of some kind who is working with multiple churches and you do not see the arrow to switch between them, again, please let our team know. These are the things that are really important at this point. First, that you have login access and you've utilized it. Second is that you've set up your user accounts. Now, we've gone over this in a number of trainings, but this is vital to the way the interest tracker is going to help you engage with people in your local community. To do this, you simply go to the left side of the screen, click the Users tab as an admin, and you can see here the people that are set up. You can see church admins, coordinators, basic users. It's important that you go in and see if there's been any activity. In this particular case, not only Harold, but Larry and Marnie have both logged in at least at some point. That tells us they have access and they have their credentials. However, if people have not ever logged in and there's no dates here, that means that whoever you sent the email to when you added new, they never received it or they never utilized it. Those links eventually decay and you need to come back in here and resend them. To do that, any person who doesn't have a last login, you can go to the arrow and resend welcome email. By clicking this, the welcome email will go out to them. You may want to send them a text or call them real quick to let them know it's coming, because it's vital that they set that up where they create their own password. If somebody has logged in previously, that option is not there. And if they need to create a new password, they have to do so at interesttracker.org, where they can select forgot my password. So you want to make sure that your users have accounts set up, and that they have logged in at least once. Now, there are 3 roles of people, and you need to decide for your church what the right approach is going to be for the software. Church admins have access to everything. That's good and bad. You can see everything. You can also break some things. So if you haven't received training, I wouldn't recommend that you offer a lot of church admin roles to people without going through some sort of training. And I'll show you where some training videos are located here shortly. But if you want to offer coordinator or basic user access, here's the difference. Coordinators can see every interest in the system, and they can assign people. We're going to talk about that in just a second. That's the next phase that's important at this point. Basic users can only see those people that are assigned to them. This is important because the next phase after login and testing your users is assigning your interests. By going into the interest list, you can see that there is a number. This is a larger list here of 1,000. We can see the people that have been assigned, but we can also see people that have not been assigned. It is vital that you assign people, assign a user to an interest. Why? Because it's how you're going to get notified. We're going to show you that in a minute, but people are going to be able to respond in the portal that you're looking at right now, and it's going to connect with your users. If no one is assigned, you will not get the notifications as often as you should that somebody's requested prayer, a Bible study, or other. So by assigning somebody, that person will get those notifications, which we'll talk about again in a minute. There are numerous ways that you can do this. You can certainly just assign people by clicking the right arrow and assign to user, pops up a list, and you can assign at that point. However, you can also bulk assign by clicking multiple people, going to the bottom, and choosing bulk assign to user. But the third option that I like is maybe you've decided that you're going to separate people by a particular type. And maybe that type in this case is, say, zip code. So I'm going to go column visibility, and I'm going to add zip code. Now, we got a lot of different zip codes, but I'm going to see what happens if we type in one that might have more than one user. Great. So now we have a number of people with that zip code. Once we have a number of people with that zip code, we can select all of them. We can go to the bottom, and we can bulk assign to that user. So now if you have a particular user that is connected to a zip code or an area, you can assign interests to them. This is important because, again, assigning people is how they get notifications. Which brings me to the next piece, which is at this stage, you should be teaching your team to utilize their new notification settings. So if you're a basic user coordinator on this video as well, you can do this right now. However, if you're an admin, please pass this information on to your basic users and your coordinators. By going up to the very top corner, you can scroll down to your user profile, which will be available for any level or role of user. From here, you're going to see some basic information about yourself, but down below, you'll see your user notification settings. Our development team has been doing a magnificent job in really customizing the ability for you to create settings that work for you in any given environment. You can use email and or your own phone for SMS messaging. And then down here, you can edit the settings. You can receive new interests assigned to me. So every time someone is assigned to you, you'll receive it by email and or text. If you get a new to-do assignment, which will come in from that portal that you're in right now, you can look email and or text. New offers, which would include any of the book offers David's going to be talking about, email and or text. And if you're an admin, you can set up so that new unassigned interests that show up in your account, you can receive a notification, and those you can then assign to a basic user or somebody else. You also have the flexibility to change your alert frequency. If you only want to be alerted once per day, you can set that. If you want immediate alerts every time somebody responds, you can set that as well. Keep in mind, during Forecasting Hope, lots of people are going to be submitting questions, concerns, prayer requests, any number of things. You may want to have immediate alerts set up so that you receive those in real time throughout the process and communicate with those people. Or you can set it up as once per day and then work through the list on the next morning. There's also report settings. These can be adjusted at the admin, I believe, coordinator level, I'm not sure. And if you have the text service, you also can forward text directly to your phone or email. Most importantly, though, are these alert settings, which we've set up on our system. So if we can look here, this is my account with you guys. We can see the number of people checked in. I went to attendance tracker. I went to this event, and I can see here I've got 71 guests you guys have checked in so far. If we want to look at the list of those that are attending, we can pull the attendance list and start to look through everyone who has attended this event. That one, there's only one event, signifies the attendance for the day. So we can see a lot of different people with a lot of different tags. But you can also see the assigned to. So if we go back to our interest list, we're going to see a lot of different people there. 337 people, because this is our system for working with you guys. And we've had different events that people have signed up for. But there's a large list of people that are assigned to me. So all of you who have registered through the system should be assigned to us in the process. And we're going to go ahead and show you guys shortly how you can request information. I should receive a notification on my phone instantly, and then we will be responding to your concerns or questions. But before I go there, I do want to give David an opportunity to talk about how the recording process is going, the lessons he's learned, and what his thoughts are as we move towards Forecasting Hope.
Well, it always takes longer than you think. I've learned that. Staging and lighting all set up. Our media team's taking care of that. I'm very, very thankful for them, their professionalism, because they do the things that I cannot do. But the way it's set up is that this is designed specifically for online meetings. And what that means is the preliminaries are extremely, extremely brief. 5 minutes and actually less than that. Now, we have a diversity of hosts, but they won't be talking for more than, I think, 3 minutes, and then boom, it goes to me. And we're not having singing, we're not having drawings, question and answer session. We're not doing that for a couple of reasons. Number one, because this is online, in this pandemic age, people have already been in front of a screen long enough, with virtual meetings, Zoom, etc. So the whole program should last about an hour, give or take. The other reason we're not doing the question and answers, etc., is because if we do that, then I answer the questions and I take an opportunity away from you as the local church to be able to connect with people. So the preliminaries will be short. If someone logs in like 20 minutes late, we'll be well into the message for that night. One of the most important things for you as the local church will be to be sure, and I'm going to stress this because we've stressed it to our Chesapeake pastors very strongly. If you have not read the visitation and connection strategy that's on the host website, it looks like this. Everything you need is on the host website. This document is like 18 pages long because in it, it specifically tells you what I'm going to do every night, which calls I'm going to make on which night, and it tells you how to follow up on them. It gives you a script to say, not that you have to follow the script. You can use your own style, but a lot of people prefer a script to at least, give them an idea. And it gives you an idea of what to say in a text or an email, or if you choose to make a phone call. So let's say, for example, there's one particular night Well, all the nights we're encouraging people to submit prayer requests, questions, and comments. The host mentions that every night. I reiterate it throughout the message. So there's no doubt in my mind, you will be getting questions and comments that come in, and every one of them is an opportunity for you to be able to respond, or whoever's assigned to them, and to connect in some way. And that's what's building relationships. If your interest just watch this all the way through and your church doesn't respond to the opportunity to connect, you're not going to get a whole lot out of this, because the whole point of soul winning is built upon relationships, and you only build relationships when there is trust. And so people don't make decisions with people they don't trust. And since we can't see each other, and you're going to be online, you're not face to face with your interests, that communicating back and forth is a really big deal. So for example, there is one night in particular that I say to our viewing audience that we have Forecasting Hope prayer teams spread all throughout North America. And I have asked them if they would give each of our viewers just a phone call tomorrow, or a text or an email, and let you know that if you have any prayer requests, feel free to share that, and you will have a team praying for you within 12 to 24 hours. What that's doing is that is priming the pump and building the bridge for you to actually make a personal contact with them. And the connection guide explains how all of that works. There's some nights that are book offers, and when those book offers come in, they're going to come into you, because on the screen where the live stream is, they're going to be able to click a button that says they're requesting the free book offer that night. That will go to you. You will either need to deliver the book, or if you're in an area where that can't happen, mail out the book the very next day, or at least within 2 days. So everything that I'm saying is written out in the visitation and strategy guide. So I would encourage that you give this to all the people on your team that are either coordinators or your virtual Bible workers who are following up, because they need that information to know how to follow up, what they can say, and they need to know what to expect that I'm going to do and say each night. Every bit of it has been written out. Secondly, there are also 5-minute training videos for each night. It's not only written in the guide, but if you go to the host website where the resources are, you will also be able to see that I give a 5-minute training on what I'm going to do each night. So you have it in written form in the connection guide, but you're also going to have it in verbal form in training videos. So, it's like a double whammy. Well, whammy's not a good word. That's a negative thing. But, it's two things that will help people remember and be well prepared as to how to follow up. So they're going to take advantage of those interactive elements, and that is done on purpose so that you can truly build relationships with these individuals. I think the last thing I want to say for the moment is, if you haven't read the connection guide, which I'm hoping you have, we are strongly encouraging you to have a follow-up class. So in other words, when this ends on November the 2nd, that you need to have something prepared to have some sort of follow-up class or Bible study you can invite your interest to. That might be in person if you're in a place where that can be done, or it might be something you do virtually online through Zoom, because you will have people who are interested in what they have heard, maybe not quite ready to make a full decision, but you need to have a follow-up class they can come to so that you can continue to build those relationships. Because I will be mentioning, once we get to the last week of the series, probably the last 3 or 4 nights, I will be mentioning to the viewers that they might get a communication from the local Forecasting Hope team about a follow-up class that may be happening in their area. And I'm going to be opening up the door for you to go well beyond November the 2nd when the main seminar ends. So those connections are the keys that make soul winning successful.
Perfect. So really, as David and I both pointed out, the beauty of this system is that you will have direct access and what we call permission-based marketing. When you're looking at an online event, the question about how evangelism works in an online environment comes down to permission. You need to create an environment where people are asking for interactions with you. And our system allows for you to do that. David is going to be doing that from the video, as well as hosts doing that from the video. We've created this portal for you so that that helps engage. Every single night, people will be able to ask the questions, request prayer, ask for a Bible study, and on given specific nights that there's going to be a book offer, the free gift offer tab will show up, which I believe you guys are seeing on your screen now. That will only be there on those given nights. Now, when we register people for your event, keep in mind, we only ask for minimal information. This is so that you get maximum number of guests through the virtual doors of your event. However, after that, we can inquire about more information as it makes sense. We can ask for phone numbers again if somebody's interested in talking to someone about a Bible study. We can add the address back in through the free gift offer. This portal system is really elegant in the way that it works. So if there's an address associated to the account, it will show that to them during the free gift offer. They can then update that or maintain that address when they request the free book. So if there's nothing there, they'll fill out their address and it'll automatically show up in the account on Interest Tracker. You now have their physical address and you can communicate with them. How you choose to communicate is the flex point of this event for your local church. Now, David has created a great guide that outlines many different strategies, and the system here in Interest Tracker allows you to get very creative. But whether you decide to drop off the book personally, put it at the door in a gift bag, or mail it to somebody, it really depends on your area, your team, and the environment that you guys are in currently. We're leaving those choices to you as the local church who knows the needs of your community. So we're going to allow you guys to figure out how you want to respond. Also, we are going to be communicating with people during the preview up to the event. We are going to be sending out an additional confirmation email that's going to go out tomorrow, just confirming with everyone the excitement of the event, as well as reminders just like you guys got either through email or text up and before every single night of the event. Please remember that when you're communicating with your people. We don't want to spam people with communication. You want to wait until they engage with you or send out simple communication opportunities, one or two here or there to see if you can get engagement. Please do not send 5 or 6 or 7 texts or emails on top of the text reminders we're sending and everything else daily. That's going to become a little much for everyone. Understand what people have signed up for. They've signed up for an in-home online event where they get to listen to Pastor David speak. And then we're going to encourage them to start engaging at a higher level. David, you look like you might wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say, we mentioned the book offers. So that means that as you as the local church, if you read the guide, you should already have ordered those free book offers. And if you have not, you need to do it today because the first book offer comes the third night, which is this coming Sunday night. So that's why we were always stressing in the emails and in the communications that went out to you to make sure you read that guide way, way ahead of time. So if you don't have the books, you need to order them today, and they're listed in there.
Now, I do know that there's been some feedback from a couple of pastors who have tried to get the books and been told that the books are out of stock at certain ABCs. So I don't know if that is happening in all areas or limited areas. If that is the case, then my recommendation from the marketing side is just use that as a communication opportunity with people. Let them know you've got the books, they're on hold, they'll be shipped to you, and that you'll be getting back with them accordingly. By communicating with somebody once or twice and they say, that's great, no problem, and then you're communicating back and forth, it's a great opportunity to build a relationship. The point of the book is not the book, it's the relationship, and you can use having the book or not having the book quite on time to build that relationship. Just make sure you're communicating. It's a great excuse to communicate with your guests, just to tell them the details if for some reason you don't have them right on the given nights that you're supposed to have.
I would say if that happens, Vince, they could also call an ABC in another conference or in another state if the local one doesn't have it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Great. Okay. Now what I want to do, we've done a lot of private trainings and we've done a lot of group trainings every Wednesday. So I'm really not planning to do a full Interest Tracker training today. However, if questions arise, we can certainly do that. What I'd like to do now is show you how this portal system works. So we have a number of you. Let's just go look at the final count now. I've got 73 total checked in people for this event. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is look to our left and your right and see the different options there. Please feel free to fill out a question or comment. To go ahead and fill out a prayer request or request a Bible study. I'm going to get some notifications through this process as you start to do that. And we're going to use Interest Tracker to just kind of correspond with you in this particular way. So, all right, let's see what we've got here.
So you want them to go ahead and use the actual system?
They can go ahead and use any of the actions over here. So I'm seeing a bunch right now. So let's just go through some of these. So one, should we use special envelopes with the Forecasting Hope logo for mailings? Certainly could. We've given you guys a graphics package on the host site. So yeah.
Well, the letter is created. There's already a letter with the logos on it and what to say. You just insert your church address.
That's correct.
As far as the envelopes, you could use the graphics that are on the host website if you're going to put something on an envelope.
So I'm starting to get all of these coming through via phone here and on the system. So I just want to show you guys really quick. So I just went under interactions. This is an overview of everybody instead of going into individual accounts. And we're just looking here. So the text on the screen shows is blurry and hard to read. I'm not sure. That's website based. I don't know if you have that enlarged. I guess I can talk to the team about that. We haven't seen that on our side. So I'm not sure what you're seeing on your monitor. Pray for David. Please pray for the success of this event. So we're seeing all these prayer requests coming in. You can see the list is prayer requests. We would see them at the individual level. So if I went into Crystal here, we can see now that there's been multiple interactions coming right through the portal. And we have 2 to-dos because somebody should be checking in with Crystal regarding the sample book offer. She just requested a book. And then also somebody needs a follow-up on the prayer request. When the person assigned to Crystal goes ahead and does this, you can go ahead and just, your basic user, coordinator, whoever completes this can finish, note how they did this. So, you know, we handled it via text message. I called them, whatever. And then when you make notes, so called, discussed, question, whatever, save the interaction. That interaction then goes up here, and then it goes away from the to-do list. It's no longer a to-do, it's just an interaction. Same with the book offer. When somebody delivers the sample book, you can choose when, who, and any notes. Maybe we mailed it. Maybe you want to create a follow-up. If you don't, you can just do the delivery offer. If you want to create a follow-up, you can do that right there in the moment. And we can see it's delivered, and the book was delivered, and it was mailed. So this is how you're going to interact with all your people in real time. And of course, your portal is only going to be for those people that are assigned to you. There's going to be thousands of users, but you're going to be working with the people local to your area. Diego, if someone registered without checking the text message box, can we edit it so they can get a text message? No, unfortunately, that is not an option. They would have to re-register, or you would have to re-register them. Basically, you go in and put in their information again, and then you could merge their accounts. We've done that for a couple of churches already. But there's no way to add that post at this time. So Diego, if you need help with that, you can contact the team and we will walk you through that. If a guest misses a night, will there be a way to view it later? Thank you, Richard. Yes, there will. And in fact, we're going to be sending out an email to you guys every single day of the event that's going to direct you back to David's video that's going to talk about that nightly topic. We're going to send you an embed code so that you can send out a video. David's made great little videos that are for the guests. We are not going to send those out. You as the local host church are going to send those out. Why? Because if I have 1,000 people responding to me after they watch the video, then we have to find a way to communicate with them, and it's not building relationship with you and your local interests. So you need to send those out, but we are going to send you an embed code so that you can add it to an email, put it on your own website, do it however you want. And then you're going to send that out to them so that they can watch that. And if they respond to that email, then, or a text or however you do it, then you'll be getting that communication and you'll be communicating with that local interest. We will also give you a link to the night before's video. The only exception, of course, is night one. After that, on day 2, you'll have a link to night 1's video. You can send that out. I've mentioned this before in other webinars, but my recommendation is that you simply send out a text or an email to everybody that says, hi, we saw you didn't attend last night. Hope you're planning to make it tonight. If you would like a copy of last night's event, please let us know. Let them respond back to you that they would like a copy and then send them the link. If you just send links out to everybody, you are not building a relationship. You're just giving out information, and they're going to get to the point where they don't feel like they need to watch it because you're just going to send them links every night and they can watch it later, which most of the time means they'll watch it never. So we recommend more interaction through that method. Follow up on a free book offer based on contact with Pacific Press. The book Confidence in Chaos is not available now and is likely to go out of print.
Let me say something about that.
Please.
I mean, I just ordered, that shouldn't be, that's a sharing booklet. I just ordered them and got them here. So I would try different ABC, and you know what, for some reason, if that should happen and worse comes to worse, it's okay to replace it with another book if necessary, or if it's coming soon, shortly thereafter, that would be fine too.
Yeah, again, you can contact somebody and just say, sorry, that book went out, but we have another one that's similar we would like to send you. All of that, the relationship is more important than the specificity of the offer. We have more prayer requests coming in. Thank you guys for that. Response during the online meeting, sound issue is resolved. Okay. I guess there was a sound issue. I apologize for that. Can the users see the attendance tracker? So only coordinators and admin can see attendance tracker. You cannot see attendance tracker at that level. I am going to ask my developer if basic users can see attendance at the viewer level. Larry's online, but you guys can't see him. Can you let me know if that's true? I have not tested that function, so I'm not sure how that
you can see it at the interest level, yes.
Okay, so for basic users, if you have someone assigned to you, say we have Donald here assigned to us, then when you view the individual, instead of looking at the full attendance list, you can see down here the different events happening, and you can see the attendance that's happened for that individual. What you can't do is go to attendance tracker and look at the entire attendance list in one place, where we could see all of you that are attending this event through a one big attendance list. So that is not an option for your basic users, because again, they can only see the people that you've assigned to them in the process. So we're going to go back to the interactions list here. We're going to look and see what else we got. If someone registered without, oh, we got that one. That's the only challenge with this, is that this is not necessarily effective for this style of webinar. All right, response during online meeting question for those people who only do phones. Is there a number to call for them? I'm not sure. For those people who only do phones, I'm not sure what that.
I'm thinking that on the phone, maybe will they still be able to submit questions and comments, or they're thinking that maybe they won't be able to do the interactive elements if they're watching this from an iPhone. I think that's what they're asking.
So you can do it from mobile. You can do it from any platform. Typically, I know sometimes you're thinking in terms of like Zoom, where people can only listen. This isn't a Zoom meeting, so that's not an option for them. They have to have internet access to watch this meeting. So it doesn't work with phone only. Once they're watching with internet access, they will have complete access to all of the features that we've talked about in the scenario.
And on mobile devices, the interactive elements are not on the right side, they're underneath the video. It's a responsive web design.
Yes, thank you for that, Larry. All right, so the text on share, okay, we've gone through that. Should we begin communicating with those who have pre-registered by phone or mail? That's a great question. So again, we are sending out communication with them tomorrow. They've already received a confirmation email from us and or text, depending on their usage. and then they will receive something the night of the event, 2 hours and 15 minutes before. I believe they'll also receive something 24 hours before, just on opening night, as a reminder. So you can leave them alone at this point, and they'll have had plenty of communication. If you wish to coordinate with them or connect with them, it is very important that you understand that they did not sign up to befriend a local church at this stage of the game. They signed up to be a part of Forecasting Hope in the online event. So please, your communication needs to read as, I am a local Forecasting Hope representative. I just wanted to let you know we're here for you. If you have any needs outside of those you communicate in the viewer portal, you can feel free to email us at this. But please introduce yourself as connected to Forecasting Hope. That is what your registrants have signed up for. That is the brand they're going to understand and what they're going to connect with.
And Vince, as far as people that pre-registered, again, in the connection guide, there is a script as to what you can say to people who have already registered. Hey, welcome, I'm your local host. So it's all written out if people want to do that.
So here we do have somebody actually asking to resend the connection guide. We will try to do that for you. But keep in mind, it is all available on forecastinghope.org/host. Then you log in with the credentials for your church, and then you can go to the host section. It's important that you have access to that anyway. There are a lot of pieces of information there, and that's probably where we're going to be sending you for these additional videos nightly as well. So you want to make sure you can log in to forecastinghope.org/host and then log in. And let me show you what that looks like. You will go to this page. You will log in. Once you're logged in, Host Resources appears. And here we have the Visitation Connection Guide. We have a video trailer, complete session schedule, graphics package, slides, letter for book requests, editable flyer. There's a ton of resources here for you guys to utilize, and you still have time to utilize all of those. So I recommend you get in there and do that as well. How long is each sermon scheduled to last? Start time, end time? David?
Well, the whole program is an hour, give or take a few minutes. So whatever your start time is, because I think the start time might be different in some time zones, Vince.
Yes, people have chosen their own time zone and their start times according to the feeds that we're running. So it's all going to be based on what your church has chosen. If you don't know what time you've chosen, you can go to your website. Every website here, every church has a portal website. If you do not know your portal website and you are a basic user or coordinator, please ask your admin. If your admin does not know your portal website, contact us at info@sermonview.com, because I want to go over that as well. The portal website is a great, we'll give you information. So let's just go look at that. Your portal website is how people register for your local church and for your local interest tracker account. They would register right here. It will tell you the start time, and this is based on the time zone in which you are in. However, this is also the place that you're going to want to tell your members to share. We're getting a little close to the meeting here. Hopefully you've already done this, but if you haven't, please send this out to all of your members. They can go to the share feature right here located in your portal, and they can share via Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or send email invitations out to friends. When they do any of those correspond back. So if you recommend on Facebook, it'll be our marketing copy, our visuals, but it'll go back to your portal and invite people to register at your local church. So you want to engage your people. Even if we're doing a marketing campaign for you, it's best that you still do personal invitation. We all know that is one of the strongest forms of connection that you can make through this process. I do see here, Brian says, I don't see the free book offer. I don't know if we got that set up this time. It will be there for each of the nights with the free book offer. It only shows up when there is a free offer.
Yeah, 3 times.
It is set up, but it says free gift, not free book.
Yes, it does. Yes, I'm sorry. I should tell you that. It does say free gift so that there's flexibility in what that offer is each night. Although whatever the offer is will specifically come back into your account so that if you do that, let's see if we can see one of those. Offer request list. Let's see who's. So there's a lot. This was called sample book offer. So you can see here, a lot of people have done the sample book offer right here. And so then we would know that there's no delivery dates. Once there's a delivery date, it's been delivered. These are all your undelivered. You can also pull an activity report at any time if you have a higher role. So let's just look at today, because there's been a lot of activity today. Let's generate that. And when you pull that activity report, this is your everything. So this is your interaction, which is going to be a long list. We have 49. Follow-ups right here. We went through that with Crystal and the follow-up. The to-dos, these are all the to-dos that are still sitting out there. You can see some of these aren't assigned to anyone, so I didn't get the notifications, which is why you want to make sure everybody is assigned to a specific thing. And then we have all the new interests that have signed up. Today, we've had 51 sign up just today alone. And then unfulfilled offers. We have 27 unfulfilled offers. This is one single report you guys can use to have a coordinator or an admin really tracking what's going on through this process and make sure that it's happening. So let's go here and see if we can see any more questions as we run through this. Again, please feel free, if you're not getting your question answered, you can email us at info@sermonview.com. We've got a couple days left to walk through these with you and help you out in the process. Did you mention that in the first and second nights, you'll be having free items offered in subsequent nights? I don't know, David, did you mention that there'll be free offers coming?
The hosts for the first 3 or 4 minutes are mentioning, or they're always repeating the interactive elements that are on the screen. But again, keep in mind, the free books or the free gift button is only up on the nights where we offer the free book. So it's not going to be up the other nights for people to just click, click, click every single day. It's only up on the night that we offer a book, which is 3 times. Gotcha.
Perfect. Okay, when should we contact those who pre-registered friends who missed the first or second night? I would start contacting them the very next day with just a nice, no guilt-ridden, but just a nice email or text message that says, sorry we missed you tonight. The meetings will continue tonight. We'll be sending out reminders. Please let us know how we can help. Or if you'd like to see last night's video, please let us know. How do we know who wants to be contacted via text? This is something that if you have a phone number in the system at this point, then I would assume at that point you can text them. They may tell you not to. There isn't a way. That is a connection point. I don't believe there's a way, whether they've checked the send confirmation by text, but once they give us their phone number, they are authorizing us to use the phone number, so you can do that. Should we start our first contact by email, text, or both? Remember, in order of effectiveness, it's phone, text, email. In order of invasiveness, it's phone, text, email as well. Maybe text, phone, email even. So just, it depends if it's a softer message you want to convey, a generalized message, or if you really want to get in touch with them. If they've given you permission, please use the most advanced method possible. If they say they have prayer, feel free to call them. If they've left you a phone number and they say they need prayer, that is great permission-based marketing. Just make sure you introduce yourself as somebody with the Forecasting Hope team.
Hey, Vince, all the questions, almost all the questions that were just asked there are great examples of everything that's explained in the visitation guide and the training videos that'll be on the website. Almost every single one of those questions is addressed in the visitation guide.
Thank you. We also have a question here about the text messaging system, so I will go over that for you guys just a minute here. How do we share the trailer video to Facebook? I showed you guys just a minute ago. The trailer video is available on the Forecasting Hope host area. What is the minimum broadband speed needed to properly view these meetings without buffering? I don't have an immediate answer for that, but it's going to be the same thing you need for any streaming. This is no heavier than any other streaming event, I believe.
We're using Vimeo as the technology platform for the actual streaming. So they have a pretty sophisticated algorithm. They'll drop down the bit rate. They'll reduce the quality if it's not coming through quickly enough. And that all happens before it starts buffering. So it's as good as the technology is that exists today for streaming.
Which may explain why there was some blur on the video player. I'm not sure if that's what it was, but that might have been a buffering issue. Are we responding from our own phone or email address if we do not get that service? Yes, you will be if you don't get the service. So the phone is obviously one you may not want to give up, which is why the text messaging service that I'm going to go over shortly is a great service for you guys. Email, however, you do want to come from your church address or some sort of an address where you can be getting those and responding back to those. So you can create an email address for this event if you want to do that. Some churches have done that as well, but you do want a place that you're testing and checking your email on a regular basis. We have some requests for the interest tracker info, so we'll look at those after this meeting and make sure to try and contact everybody. Have you done search engine optimization on the different ad URL platforms? Search engine optimization does not work for targeted events like this. Search engine optimization takes months. Everything we do is pay per click. That is how you get to the top in a guaranteed fashion. That works with Google. We're running Google ads for many campaigns, also with Facebook and Instagram. So there is no search engine optimization for an event like this because people are not searching for forecasting hope. Or even if they're searching for specific Bible words, you're going to come well behind Wikipedia, Bible Gateway, and everything else that's going to have long-term longevity. So SEO will not work in this environment. Okay. Right. Some more prayer requests. What percentage of people who sign up for the seminar actually watch the seminar? It's a great question. It really depends on the seminar. I suspect you guys are going to see between 40 and 60%. That is the general consensus through this process. But please understand, if somebody does not attend night one, that does not mean that they are not a good interest. The internet works differently than meetings. We're all used to meetings where people show up and the people that don't show up are kind of gone from us. We've been trying to train churches for years now that even in the live environments, there are people that register that don't show up. They get sick, their kids get sick. All of a sudden they get stressed about attending. They have anxiety. There's so many reasons. Here's what I can tell you as somebody who's been a marketing professional for decades. If somebody gives you their real information, they're giving their real email, their real phone number, their real name, that person had an interest in what it is you are offering. There are reasons why they abandoned or did not engage further. Please contact those people. You can even soften the offer at that point. You can say, I understand if this time doesn't work for you. Let me know how we can make this work for you. Let me know if you'd just like me to send you some Bible studies. But please do not assume just because somebody didn't show up that they were not interested. If they give you real information, they did. And we get 98% real information across the board on all of our ads. So please understand that is a real lead for your church. Am I going to archive this recording? Yes, we're going to be showing this again for everybody. We are recording this, so we will send this out to everybody. And it looks like that's kind of, I know there's more here. We'll go through a couple more really quick. What happened? Someone registered without checking the text, but I think some of these we've already answered. And some of these are older ones from a previous meeting, correct. Okay. All right, so again, this is really the environment, and this is what makes this program so unique. We have hundreds of portals running all at the same time. Everybody's going to be watching videos at different intervals based on their the particular feed that they've chosen, and those people are all going to be watching the same thing in the same time, and then they're going to be responding. Your team is going to be getting that information throughout this entire process. So we are very encouraged by this test that we've been able to run with you guys today and just show you how this works. Clearly, this stuff is going through. Are there going to be internet issues? Yep, because there's always issues. That's not necessarily an us thing. That's an individual internet issue. I've had those with Zoom. I've had those with every form or fashion. Some people are going to have bad internet. Some people are going to have challenges. This is the reality of the online world that we live in currently right now. But there's never been a better time for better technology. More people are used to going to Zoom meetings for their job. More people are used to going online. They've increased their internet. Most internet companies have made sure that more people have access to this information. This is the method that we can use today. And I believe this is going to continue forward, even as actual locations open up, as another method and another way for you to reach out to people in your community. Forecasting Hope was a big success when it was originated in spring for just the Chesapeake Conference. And we expect to see similar numbers and similar success here. The difference is we've now given you direct tools to integrate and communicate and engage with your community and the people that have registered in your area in real time. The most important thing you can do is make sure you can log in, make sure you've read the communication strategy guide that David has put together, which is going to articulate that strategy. Make sure that you have your users in the system, that you're assigning people to a specific user, and that you set notifications appropriate to the way that you want to be receiving those notifications and communicating with those people that are engaging with your church. So we hope that you've taken care of those things. If you haven't, go ahead, email us, info@sermonview.com. Our team is standing by to start answering questions and communicating with people. This is really the week for questions, if you have them. We're still hosting a couple personal training seminars for these kinds of things, and we have plenty of training resources. I want to show you a couple resources really quick, and then we're going to let everybody go since we're at the hour. So in your interest tracker account, there is a help menu. If you click the help menu, this is, oh, I didn't actually do this. If you click the help menu, you will have access to a number of topics and suggestions so that you can learn about the program. So if you want to know about tags, here you go. If you want to know about importing, here you go. If you want to know about users, there you go. These are great articles that have been well documented and have nice imagery to go with them through the whole process. Besides the help menu, you have bug reports. If you guys run into bugs, this will go straight to our development team. You can list the bug. You can click this camera to screen share and go through that process and send the feedback. If you have feature requests, you can do that. You can screen share. Or if you would just like to tell the development team that they've done a marvelous job, which they love to hear and they deserve, you can send them kudos right through the system, and that will go to their team and they will hear about that as well. We also have training videos. These are available at interesttracker.org/training. You can go to interesttracker.org, go to the training under support, and you're going to see this list of training videos. These are great for every basic user, coordinator, or admin. They're broken down into essential training, individual things like importing, organizing and managing your list, leveraging the power. You can also go to the bottom here and talk about attendance tracker through this process and get some more additional information about how to work with the attendance tracker program. All of these videos are available to you. You don't even have to log in to have access to those. They're at interesttracker.org/training. Okay, I want to show one more thing because it's something that was requested, and this is talking about the text message system. For that, I am going to pull up our account here. All right, so this is our fake account so that we can go through this. If you go to your name and you're an admin up top, and you go to billing and subscriptions, and then go to change subscription, you will see that you have different plans. You all have attendance tracker for the next year. It is a $299 a year plan, and you have access to it for participating in Forecasting Hope. However, you will see that there's a text messaging program. If you've not signed up for this, it is $29.99 a month. Let me be clear. We are going to be increasing that price at some point. Once we have even more features, we're going to be adding email to the system. But this also includes attendance tracker. So if your attendance tracker runs out and you have the messaging system in place, you will maintain and receive for free the $299 a year from attendance tracker. The text message platform gives you access to having 1,000 credits per month, which if you don't use them will roll over to a maximum of 2 months. And those credits are good for texting any of your interests through a bulk text or an individual text. What is not included, because it's free, is the reminders that are going out to your interests and any notifications that go to your users. Those are on us. Those happen automatically. But if you would like to communicate in your own form or fashion with your interests, you can purchase this for $29.99, 1,000 incoming I'm sorry, 1,000 outgoing, unlimited incoming is what you get. When you do this, what it allows you to do is two things. One, you can communicate with an individual. When you communicate with that individual, we'll go with Kayla here, and we will view. And you will see there's a plus sign that would have not been there had you not signed up for text message, where you can start the text or you can view text down here. It starts approximately the same thing. This starts just an individual message, or if you come down here to view text, this starts the feed that you've had. In this case, all we have is hi, Kayla. That's the feed. You send another text, it'll come out of your credits. You'll see them right here. And when they communicate back, it'll show up in here as well. Now, keep in mind, this is not a live chat, so you have to refresh the screen to know that you've been texted back, but you can set a notification to let you know at what time and when that happens. But more importantly, maybe, is that you can segment people by their interest list or by their attendance list. And so if you segment people by the attendance list, then once we pull up all the users, we could filter by the people who were absent night 2, let's say. This is for a different meeting, but it's the same premise. We have lots of people who are absent for night 2. You can either check everyone or check individuals at this point, go through this process. And once you've selected everyone you want to select, you can go down here to bulk message interest, and you can send them a text message. Sorry, you missed tonight, or whatever you want to say. Send message, and it will send to everybody in bulk once you've segmented or filtered down the list. You can use this if you set up your members appropriately. You can use this to text your members, because you could use the member tag to just reach out to all of your members, and those are people who have the member tag. Or if you want to reach everyone that's not a member, you could put not colon, and you would then be filtering everyone who's not a member, and you could send a bulk text to them as well. So you have lots of flexibility and lots of options with our text package, and you can send from here. You get to choose your own phone number as you go through that process, and when you do that, that is the phone number for your church and your interest tracker account at that point, and nobody has to get your personalized phone number. So that is how the text message service works. That was not included in the process because there is a cost for the phone number and for the text messages. But if you would like to add that, you can do so for $29.99. Okay, I think we're at the 1 hour mark. Hopefully we've answered some of your questions. I know there's more. This isn't the ideal format for live Q&A, right? This is really more about interacting with your guests over the next 24 hours. So we're going to use the opportunity to do that thing. We're going to have our team look through the account. We're going to have them try to answer any questions that didn't get answered during this live meeting and communicate with you guys back through our own system. If you have other questions that didn't get asked or answered, you could ask them now, and we'll try to address them in our system, or you can email us at info@sermonview.com. David, any last thoughts or things you want to do as we start to wrap up?
Because it may come up, we told our pastors, members need to register too if they're wanting to view this. And so you'll need your members to go into your customized link and register, because if you don't communicate that to your members, you're probably going to get a bunch of texts and emails come Friday night. Oh, I can't view it, or I can't see. They have to register to get the link. If they think they can just go to the Forecasting Hope website and all of a sudden it's going to appear, they do have to register. So you'll want to communicate that to your members.
Absolutely. And to go a step further, the reason that's so important is because with our dynamic video player, the video link changes regularly. This is so that people can't bookmark the way they could with Facebook or YouTube and bypass the check-in process. They're going to want to check in nightly, and the best way to do that is to go ahead and register so they can get the reminder link. Now, the check-in screen is the same every night, so if somebody bookmarks that, it will move them to the next event, allow them to check in and go to the video player. But they cannot bookmark the video player, and therefore they have to check in so that your attendance data is accurate and so that you can continue the communication process. So do make sure your members register on the portal. It is the best way for them to get the correct link in this process. Thank you for that, David. Any other final thoughts that you want to communicate?
I'm just looking forward to it. The recording part of it will soon be done. and then you'll be able to focus on the interactions is really the most important thing with your people. And that's why I keep repeating about the visitation guide, because almost all the questions that were asked are addressed in there. And then I don't know if you may have already, Vince, the training videos. How do they access them?
Yeah, so you can go to interesttracker.org/training, or you can go to interesttracker.org, find the support tab at the top, and then click training, and that will give you all of the individual training.
No, I mean the 5-minute training videos I created for what we're going to do.
Oh, yes. So those training videos are going to be available on forecastinghope.org/host. We are going to send that link out to everyone. We're going to send you daily emails with access to that. We're uploading all of those now. So you guys will receive an email every single day that tells you where to go, but it'll be the same page for those videos as well as for the videos for the guests and the link for the night before. So we're going to be giving you information every single day that you can either go to the website and find, or you can find it somewhere else. In fact, let me show you one place you can find that every single time, because it's not up there now, but it will be. We're going to be adding to the session schedule. So once you go here, you'll receive an email, but if you're not getting the emails for some reason, you will be able to go to the session schedule, which actually looks like, oh, here it is. It's under the About tab. And the session schedule currently right now just shows the title, but we will be giving you a link or other information right in here for each night so that you can get to David's videos, or you can get to the guest videos, or all those things as you roll through that. So we'll be getting all that put up over the next 24 hours or so, and you'll have access to that the whole time. But look for those emails. But if you don't get the emails, you can just go to forecastinghope.org/host. The only reason you wouldn't be getting the emails is if you've unsubscribed at some time in the past from SermonView emails. If you did that, there's nothing we can do. So then at that point, you just have to go under the About and under Session Schedule, and we'll have all of that available for you there as well throughout the entire series. Again, if you're having any challenges, if they're technical issues at all, please contact us, info@SermonView. If they're related to the videos themselves or any of the content, that's a question for David and the team at Chesapeake. But we want to be here to support you guys through this whole process, and we're doing everything we can to make sure that you guys know how to work with the interests and engagements that come through. So I want to thank you guys for joining us, and this has been really, really good from our end. Hopefully it's been really helpful for you. We're going to send an email out with a link to this recording shortly to everybody who is signed up into the system, and we'll be getting those out shortly. So we want to just say God bless. We're going to be praying for you guys all the way leading up until the meetings and beyond, and we're here to support you guys through this process all the way.
Absolutely. Looking forward to taking the journey together through Forecasting Hope.
All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll be getting back to you if you've left a message in the player, or if you email us at info@sermonview.com. Have a great day. God bless.